I've been contacted recently by way too many cruise passengers that have been caught out by new scams that have emerged since my last video on this topic, including one a really good friend of mine stumbled upon on his latest cruise, and one that is actually using me to scam cruisers like you. Now, because scammers are so crafty, it's really easy to fall prey. In fact, McAfee, the cybersecurity company, say last year almost 30% of travelers say they fell for a travel scam and were out of pocket. So, welcome aboard. I'm Gary Bembridge with the latest cruise scams you need to watch out for. And importantly, I'm going to tell you what to do to make sure you're not a victim. Cruising has taken off big time. Demand is huge and fares are ramping up. So of course, all of us are looking for great deals and fabulous offers. Scammers know this and are setting up fake travel agent sites and pages with mouth-watering cruise offers and promoting them on social media. Here's a typical example of what I've seen happening. A group of Florida residents were scammed into paying hundreds of dollars for a 3-night Royal Caribbean vacation sailing from Port Canaveral to the Bahamas. Rochelle Price and Naisha Lambert from the group told local media outlets how they saw an amazing deal on Facebook for that cruise. The fake agent had them pay a $100 deposit via Cash App and the rest of the $523 fare in installments also via Cash App. They were given fake reservation numbers, but when of course they tried to check in at the port, they were turned away because there were no such bookings. There are a growing number of fake cruise agent accounts on social media offering fabulous deals. So what can you do to avoid them while still being able to grab a great deal from genuine agents that you perhaps have not heard of before? Now, those potential cruisers who were scammed made 3 easily avoided mistakes. First of all, they did not do any research on the agent. If you're looking at offers from an unfamiliar or new to you agent or company, you must research for online reviews and look at perhaps reputable review sites like Trustpilot. Those searches should flag up issues. Secondly, they pay the fake agent via a cash transfer app and not with a credit card. That should have been a really big red flag. Real agents should be able to take cards, and credit card companies will have done some screening of the providers. And if that supplier is fake or fraudulent, you can get your money back from the credit card company because they're required to do that by various regulations and rules. Thirdly, the minute you get sent a reservation code, log in with it on the cruise line site and check it is a valid reservation. As soon as you pay a deposit, you should get a booking reference. Go and check it because this will immediately flag if there's something wrong. Plus, by the way, if there's something wrong with your booking, if it's valid too. Now, that group scammed did not do any of those, and if they had, they may not have been left out of pocket and without a cruise. There is another online scam that you must watch out for, as this year it will be something I expect loads of cruisers are going to be caught out by. Many of you will know if you're traveling to or on a cruise that calls into countries like the United States, Canada, Australia, and so on, you are currently required to apply online for an e-visa, such as the USA ESTA, the Canadian ETA, and similar ones like that before going. Now, the UK have launched one, it's called an ETA, and the EU are also launching one called an ETIAS during 2025. Many more cruise passengers, including many who have never had to apply for one before, are going to have to get them online if going to or cruising there. Now, the scammers know this and are already active by launching sites targeting those travelers. So if you search online about applying for one of those e-visas to the UK, the EU, wherever, you're likely to find loads of sites are going to appear in your search results. Now, to avoid getting scammed or ripped off, make sure you're only using the official government one for that country. So for example, look at sites that have perhaps a .gov in the title, for example. Now, the spam sites will charge you fees on top of the e-visa fee, and they do not make it any easier or add any value at all. So even if they do actually submit your details and get it for you, they will have harvested loads of sensitive personal information, including your passport details, your home address, your phone number, your email, your date of birth, your credit card details, and so on, which is going to make cloning your ID or defrauding you rather easy. Now, those online e-visas are simple to apply for and get on the official site. You do not need a third party to assist you. However, if you do need a full visa, for example, I do for an upcoming cruise calling into China, then it may be worth considering using a third party, true, honest visa specialist. Genuine visa specialists can make it easier by ensuring you have all the required documentation, any letters you need, copies of documents. They sometimes can help you with a complex application form, and they will take all of that and your passport to the local embassy to get it for you. So I've used a company like CIBT Visas in the past, which many cruise lines actually recommend for proper visas. And even they, by the way, if you go to their site, they tell you, sort out your simple e-visa yourself. They don't even help you do that. Once you have successfully got on board and are cruising without being caught up by those new scams, there are a couple of new ones that you should be ready for once you're on board as well, unfortunately, too. In the past, I spoke about a series of import scams to be ready for, and I will link to that video at the end of this. But I want to talk about a new one that a friend of mine let me know about when people on his cruise fell for it this past summer in Rome. He was on a tour which passed a young guy at the side of the road near the Colosseum. This guy had a display of quite nice watercolor paintings, and next to it was a paint set suggesting he had painted them. Now, my friend Graham was kind of suspicious. The paint set basically looked brand new. It looked like it had never been used, and so alarm bells kind of rang. Now, some of the group, however, they thought they were great. They bought two of the pictures for 30 euros. That's about $30 US. Now, later that day, Graham spotted another supposed roadside artist selling the same pictures, also with an unused paint set as a prop. So that kind of reinforced his concern. He suspected that they were probably prints, not paintings, and this was actually confirmed when he came across the exact same so-called paintings in a nearby souvenir shop being sold for 3 euros. That's about $3 US each. Remember, if you're ever buying anything in the street, always be cautious. Work on the assumption they may not be all they claim to be, even if they're supposedly handmade crafts. I mentioned that Graham was on an excursion when he came across the scam. That reminded me of a growing port excursion scam, and the one that a couple, in fact, on my last cruise, actually unfortunately fell for. This scam seemed to be an issue mostly in the busy Caribbean and some of the Mediterranean ports, but a couple on my recent cruise that called into ports on the Mexican Riviera also got trapped by this one too. Now, in researching this particular scam, I discovered there was a brand new article appearing on the Points Guy site. This is a large and well-known travel advice site, and they warned also about the growth of this one too. The Points Guy spoke about how significant numbers of rather seriously out-of-pocket cruisers have been contacting them coming home from cruises all around the world affected by this one. So this is how it works. People at the cruise ports, often perhaps at stands as you come off the ship, are offering a free day pass to a beautiful resort with transfers, drinks and food included in return for simply attending a short presentation once there. However, once plying those cruisers with drinks, they pull them into a travel club presentation. It's hard sell with a promise of large discounts on everything from flights, hotels, amenities and attractions. You do have to pay a rather hefty upfront buy-in, and then there are monthly fees, often for a couple of years. Now, caught up in the buzz and the drink, loads of people sign the contract to join the travel club. Only once back at the ship, they fully realize just how much it's going to cost them, how restrictive they can be, and how they're probably not going to save that much as they start to soberly reflect on it. Now, unlike countries like the United States and the UK, the laws in those countries do not have cooling off periods, and so they're locked in often for many years, with the provider, of course, having their financial details to do those monthly charges. So before accepting a day pass for anywhere, fully understand what your obligation is in exchange and be extremely cautious if you go to any of these with the presentations. Refuse to sign anything on the day and say you'll come back to them. There is no such thing as a free resort pass in reality. Now, having warned you about some other costly scams, I'd like to share one that should not cost you too much if you fall for it, but one you absolutely need to watch out for. Again, it's a reminder that anything claiming to be free likely has an actual cost to it. And this is one I hope you can duck, because it literally is a cruise duck scam. On many cruises, the trend of taking and hiding rubber ducks on board has become quite a big thing. Whenever something's popular, scammers, of course, move right in. And I'm seeing scammers posting on social media, often in Facebook cruise and roll call groups, pictures of stocks of ducks of all types, including some seemingly homemade, lamenting how either the cruise they were planning to take them on has been cancelled or they can no longer go on their particular cruise. They then invite people to direct message them and offer to send the ducks in return just for the cost of postage, which does seem often surprisingly high. Of course, people sending money via the requested usual cash transfer apps never receive anything. From comments online, in groups and on sites that are actually dedicated to the cruise duck phenomenon, it looks like scammers have been very active and have actually made a rather tidy sum from this particular scam. So make sure that is one you duck. The next scam involves me specifically, although it also affects many other content creators. Recently, I've received a flurry of messages of people asking me why I'm endorsing what appears to be rather suspect activities, or simply whether I've given permission for my image to be used to promote these things. They've sent me links to ads that are running across social media and websites, which have my images, which appear to be culled from my channels, social media channels, my website, and I seem to be promoting products or offering cruise tips that then link to aggressive affiliate linked articles. Currently, the main one that's running says, of course, how I love to travel and I'm always looking for great deals and so on. And then it links to an article which I've supposedly written with the title, "Unsold Cruise Cabins Cost Almost Nothing for Seniors, Find Out Why." But once you click on it, there's various articles pushing loads of affiliate links for credit cards, various discount coupons, and so on. If you don't know, affiliate links pay commission if people click and buy a product. So if you ever see me or any other creators in an ad, a paid for post or sponsored post, have a look at the link before clicking and see if it goes to one of our own sites, or if it has in the post up front a declaration that it is an ad or sponsored post before clicking. Now, we as creators are required to declare such content, whether it's sponsored or advertised or affiliate links, while scammers, of course, don't currently think to use that to disguise what they're doing. While I don't promote many things, I do promote the cruise maps because I love their framed maps generated using satellite technology. And you will always see, if I am promoting them, the hashtag ad at the start of the post or contains paid promotion within the post itself. By the way, as an aside, if you ever want one of the Cruise Maps amazing maps of your actual cruises, use the link thecruisemaps.com/TFT and you will get 10% off. There's another example of me promoting, I guess. I mentioned earlier that I have covered all the main cruise scams you must watch out for in a previous video. So why not join me over in that video where I run through them, starting with the one that catches more people than any other. See you over there.